Hi guys, welcome to my channel. This is 6 Acres. I wanted to talk to you about getting some medications in your house to alleviate symptoms. Now the government does say that about 60 or 70% of us are going to get the virus. The milder cases tend to have just a cough and a fever, but those are also the beginning symptoms of the virus itself. So right now, like I told you all in prior videos, I am going to war on the home front. That is a common term used back in World War II for, the house, the home, the wife who had to cook, prepare, and to acquire food stores during the time of rationing. Well, now it's a different war on the home front, and it's this virus. You know from my prior videos, I'm trying to eliminate and reduce exposure to the virus, and I don't want the virus to have a foothold here in my little docile. However, I also am preparing for the worst and preparing for impact that I'm going to get sick. But if I get sick, I am very hopeful that I'm going to be fine. I do have some underlying health issues. I've had high blood pressure since I was 28. It's genetic. My mother was 24 when she was diagnosed with it. Now, both of my birth parents are deceased from cardiac arrest. They both died at 73, about 6 months apart. So heart problems are pretty high in my family. My uncle was sitting in a chair watching wrestling and his heart exploded in his chest. My mother had triple bypass surgery at 53. My biological father was 42 when he had bypass surgery. So heart disease runs in my family, and they both had high blood pressure and they both have cholesterol issues. Now, I didn't have cholesterol issues until this year, so I am taking a cholesterol medicine. But I've been taking high blood pressure medicine now for since I was 28. So I'm 51 now, so it's been a long time, right? And it's just part of my regimen. However, being high risk, I still think that I'm still in the low risk category because I am relatively healthy. Yes, my medication does control both of those things very effectively. I do eat well, I do exercise, and I am not overweight, which also helps my heart and helps my blood pressure and my cholesterol. So those are factors too when I'm looking at the high risk category. However, our most vulnerable population are seniors who may have those same health issues. They're frail, their bodies don't work as well, as their immune system isn't as strong as ours, and they are the ones who, without the proper medical treatment, seem to be passing away of this virus. So 60-70% of us are going to get the virus. Of that, 80% of us are going to be fine, but we're going to have symptoms, so we need the medications in the home to alleviate the symptoms. Now, I have these things on hand every year during the fall because if I get sick with a cold or flu, no matter how you feel about vaccinations or not, I don't want to feel the symptoms and feel miserable. So these are things that if you haven't gotten them, you might want to think about it, because if that many people in the country are going to get the virus over the next several months, there's going to be hot spots. These are medications that might not be available to you later, so you might want to get those now. And with that information, I wanted to suggest that if you're dealing with people in your family or friends or colleagues that are very negative or angry right now with what's being said and done, or kind of just a little, flippant about, it's just a flu. It's just flu symptoms. Get over it. Let it go. Then the next time you hear that, say, you know what, you're right. It is like the flu, huh? And say, I don't think I have any Tylenol at home or cough syrup. Good grief. Do you? Do you have anything like that? Plant a seed, guys, right? The way I do things is I think ahead, plan ahead, move ahead. We want to move them ahead. We want them to have a plan. We want them to think about it. So plant the seed, let them sort of bring it up, or you bring it up, and then you let them lead the conversation. That way, even if it's not something that they want to do or they're thinking about, they might think about later. And the next thing I wanted to bring up is what I've started doing here on the home front, because remember, I'm going to war on this virus. I don't want a foothold again. I don't want more exposure than I have to be. So we are doing temperature checks. Temperature checks are one of the first signs in a dry cough. So we're taking temperature checks twice a day. And my husband, I just started this Monday, and he's already doing it. When he comes home from work, he automatically takes his temperature. So he's already on board. It's something that, he's not even thinking about already. He's already just doing it. So if you're not doing a temperature log at your house, it might be something you want to think about. The next thing I wanted to bring up was maybe the next time you go shopping. I know you have money, right? Most of us do have money. And most of the people that have been buying, 4 and 5 packages of toilet paper and nothing else, those people are not us, right? They're not you and I. They are people who are just realizing that there's a problem, and they've heard there's no toilet paper or there's not going to be, and then they run and grab more because, if that person's grabbing 5, they better grab 5 because the next time they want toilet paper, it's not going to be there. We really need to kind of bring people down from that, okay? We got to talk it back a little bit. So if you're on Facebook and people make comments about toilet paper, agree with them, because you're right. It's wrong. Yes, you need, everybody should have, an extra package of toilet paper, but we don't need to clear the shelves of bleach, disinfectant, food, Tylenol, toilet paper, whatever. There's people that are going to join this train over the next several weeks to a month, and we want to make sure that they have accessibility to it. So thinking of that, in 2 weeks, the seniors are most vulnerable. Again, the people who get monthly security and retirement checks at the first of the month, that's coming in 2 weeks. And they're already going to go to the store, and none of this stuff is going to be available because it's all gone. They don't have the money now to get it. Okay, guys? They don't have it. If they're living on a budget, they don't have it. We have to look out for them. Talk it back. Talk it down. You really need to start doing that. You need to help get people who are in excite mode and have not been forward thinking and forward acting. They're not preppers or not a squirrel like you or I. We need to get them to start walking back and thinking more broadly. And I just think that if you have an opportunity to mention on Facebook or to your family or friend who says, well, I'm going to go out and buy a bunch of toilet paper, you might say, yeah, well, I understand you need toilet paper. I would, maybe get one or two, but remember, our most vulnerable population, the people who are going to be sick and have the worst effects from this virus, are elderly, and they don't get paid for 2 more weeks. Let's leave it on the shelf. Give them a chance to prepare and get ahead, okay? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Please feel free to leave me a comment. A couple of you guys have emailed me. Thank you so much. You've given me some great ideas, and I will try to use those in future videos. I know that I've not been, I don't do daily things. I haven't been working hard on this channel, but that's because, for me, I'm not a, I don't feel like I have anything really super important to share. And there's just so many great YouTubers out there, and I really enjoy watching them, that I don't always have time to do this. But I am going to actively, while we are all going to war on the home front on this virus, do daily videos and work with you guys. And maybe in a few weeks, I'll actually show you what I look like. I'm a little uncomfortable with that. I don't like being looked at. I don't like being the center of attention. So I have to just kind of work past that fear. So I'll work on that. But that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. And as always, have a great day.